he needs a reflection for eyeglasses. And and there was a young man who was a Veterans Administration doctor.
Yeah.
He's standing there shaking his head while this captain, Navy captain, was telling me that I needed a refraction for eyeglasses because he was looking in my eye and he didn't even know what he was looking at. Well, that was the case of the thing, because in so many cases, one doctor looked in my eyes and said, "Wow, looks like World War III in there." So
they didn't know what they were looking at.
No, they didn't know what they were looking at. No. Well, they had a name for it.
Yeah.
They called it chronic uveitis.
Okay.
Okay, you know what uveitis is?
I have no idea.
Okay. Uveitis is, the way it was told to me, is the uvea is part of the intestine, like the appendix is part of your intestines. But uvea is part of the eye, the same way the appendix is part of the intestine. Okay?
I see.
You got it? All right. In my case, it would be like the appendix burst.
Mm-hmm.
When it burst in there, it went kapooey, and of course they sent me up to where Johns Hopkins doctors could look at me. And I went the whole route with everything. I was going blind, but they didn't know how to stop it. They knew I was going to go blind. In fact, I went to a civilian doctor, and he sat me down. He said, "Son, you're going to go blind." He said, "If I could do anything to help you, I wouldn't charge you a cent. I would do it for nothing." He said, "But you're going to go blind, and there isn't anything I or anybody else can do about it."
Wow. Well, Easton's been so interested in it lately.
Yeah, well, it's one of those things. It started while I was overseas, because of I had to step off the flight line and no more. I didn't do more flights because of the eyesight. But also, when I first noticed it was everybody, when we left the hangar and everybody jumped on a Jeep. And I don't know if you know about military people, but when they go into the mess hall, everybody piles on the Jeep. They got it all over the hood, all over everywhere. You got about 15 guys hanging onto a Jeep going to the mess hall.
Yeah.
We were coming up the road, and they had put a new sign on the mess hall with the hours of what the hours were for the mess hall. Everybody in the Jeep could read the sign except me. I couldn't read it. But there was a thing. I had night blindness because at night I could not read or anything because there's no lights anywhere. And it was just one of those things. I was up there 25 months.
Yeah.
And there was nothing they could do about it. And when I got back, there wasn't anything I could do about it. In fact, I went to a private doctor first.
Mm-hmm.
When I first got out, I woke up. I was within a week after I was out of the Navy. I got up one day, and it's like somebody pulled a dirty sheet down over my eyes. So I went to a private doctor. He looked in there. He said, "You get over to the VA right now." He didn't even bother to try to treat me.
Huh.
He said, "This has been going on for a long, long time." So I went over to the VA, and they fiddled around, and they didn't know what they were looking at. They didn't have a clue what they were looking at. They could give it a name, chronic uveitis.
Mm-hmm.
But outside of that, most of them didn't even know what it was.
So now?
It was explained to me that uveitis was the same way as if your appendix had exploded, same thing happened in the eye.
Yeah. So now would they be able to treat it differently?
With nothing. They tried. I was 2 weeks in Baltimore so that Johns Hopkins doctors could look at me.
Mm-hmm.
Because the Marine Hospital where they put me was across the street from Johns Hopkins. But that's why they put me there, because the doctors at Marine Hospital, the consulting doctors, are doctors from Johns Hopkins. And Johns Hopkins doctors walked around me in circles. They would circle me and they would spend hours looking in my eyes, shaking their head. Not a clue. They had no idea what caused it at all. They just knew that something happened to me at some time that caused me to go blind.
Is it common? Or was it common back then?
I don't think so.
So that even now they wouldn't have a cure for it?
No. Oh no. Even now they would not. They, and as a matter of fact, well, the doctor told me. He said, there's nothing I can, or any other doctor can do about it. He said, if any doctor tells you he can help you, he says, you tell him he's a damn liar, tell him I said so. So after that, I didn't think that much about it, because, hey, you make decisions in the world. He told me I was going to go blind. Was not anything he or anybody else could do about it. So, what do?
I don't think you can do anything.
Well, I'll tell you what I did.
What did you do?
I learned to read Braille.
Oh. So you learned to read Braille before you went blind?
No. I learned to read Braille. Well, I was partially blind, but when I started to learn to read Braille, yeah. But that's why I took up Braille, though, because I was going blind.
Yeah.
I couldn't read print. I had partial vision for a while. In other words, for a while there, I could see outlines.
Yeah.
Like my children, my oldest children.
Yeah.
I could see the outline of their face, but I could not distinguish their features clearly.
And how old were you when that all started? I can't remember.
I was, well, when I was in the Navy, I was about 19 to 20 years old.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. I was thinking it was 20s, but I couldn't remember for sure.
Yeah, it was about that. It was one of those things that I had no clue about it at all, except that, hey, you can't see, you know. Yeah, and you don't pay that much attention to things that you're accustomed to seeing. You don't pay that really much attention to it. But as you go blind, your vision gets less and less and less. So therefore, you begin to notice more of it. Well, for example, I got out of the Navy in March the 10th, 1946. March the 17th, I married my first wife. March the 19th, I went to work at the Naval Air Station. But now see, when they discharged me, the corpsman, now that's what the Navy calls it out there. There's somewhat of a nurse type thing in the Navy, what I call it corpsman. He told me I needed to get glasses when I got out. He was looking in my eyes, and after I failed to read the eye chart, but he says, you need to get glasses when you get out. But see, he made a mistake. He should not have done that. He should not have recommended that I get glasses. He should have been reported, because he looked in there, but he didn't have a clue what he was looking at either.
Right.
most of them didn't. There were a lot of doctors who would look in there, and they knew there was something going on in there, but they had no idea what it was. Because you had to be an ophthalmologist before you even had a clue, and a lot of the ophthalmologists didn't have a clue.
Yeah.
They could look at it and could tell you, yeah, there's something going on in there. Well, like the guy with the one doctor, looks like World War III going on.
Yeah.
So, but that was it. They had no idea. They know that it started when I was overseas.
Yeah.
Because of the things that I had to go through. I had night blindness because I used to go to the movies in the late afternoon and night, early evening, and they on the island of Adak they have these wooden boardwalks that go all over the island because of the snow. So I would at nighttime, if I didn't have a flashlight with me, I could easily walk up that boardwalk out into the snow there. So I had to be real careful. But the thing about it was, I had no clue. I thought I needed glasses too.
Yeah.
I didn't know.
Well, yeah.
I didn't know I was going blind. I didn't realize I was going blind until I paid a civilian doctor, Dr. Milton J. Selasky. He was an ophthalmologist in Norfolk, Virginia. He wasn't connected with the VA or anything else. He sat me down and he said, "Son, I'm going to tell you, you're going to go blind. There is absolutely nothing I can do or any other doctor can do to help you. And if any of them tell you he can help you, you tell him it's a damn liar, tell him I said so." He was serious because he knew there would be doctors who might take advantage of a situation
Right.
and tell you, "Well, I can help you. All we got to do is this." Well, that happened to me. They sent me to Baltimore to the Marine Hospital, which is across the street from that. With the VA sent me up there, across the street from Johns Hopkins, just so that Johns Hopkins doctors could look at me. Well, I was there for 2.5 weeks. They gave me every test that you can imagine. They put scratches on my back. They gave me fevers. They did everything you can't even imagine the things that they did. They'd wake me up. They gave me penicillin every 4 hours, sulfa drugs every 3 hours, around the clock. They wake me up. They gave me so many needles, my shoulders got so hard they were breaking needles in them.
Oh my goodness.
They were giving me penicillin and sulfa drugs, trying to stop me from going blind. Nothing worked. Nothing. So at the end of 2 weeks, the doctor, I don't remember his name, his doctor was Dr. Jones. He came in to talk to me. He said, "Well, we finished all the tests we can do." I said, "What do we do now, Doc?" "Well, we just start all over again." I said, "No thanks, Doc." I said, we've been through this for 2 weeks, or more than 2 weeks here,
Yeah.
and you haven't done a thing that you haven't found out anything more than what you knew to begin with. And so you expect me to go through all this again. I said, "I've got a family to support." So I went home. Hey, I'm quite sure I'm not the only veteran who has been through that sort of thing.
Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure you're exactly right.
Yeah.
Easton he loves the military so much. He thinks it's just so neat. So anytime he hears anybody say anything about the military, he's all about it. So this morning we were talking about it, and he said, "How did Papa go blind?" And I said, "Well, I don't think they know exactly."
No.
And
they still don't. They gave it a name, but they don't know what caused it.
Yeah.
And to this day, I understand that they still don't know what caused it. It would be like the appendix eruption or having an appendix
Right.
type thing.
Mm-hmm.
But it was happening in the eye. Now they look in there. The odd thing is, you know what they see?
What do they say?
Nothing.
Huh.
Not a thing. There's not a thing in there at all. The only thing that they know, can attribute it is that the thing in the back of the eye, I don't know, that is the thing that goes, telegraphs you to the brain.
Mm-hmm.
That they think is, but the eye is clear. Now see, when I was going through this thing, my eyes, oh, let's see how to describe this. You've seen the pictures of Lucifer
Mm-hmm.
with
Yes,
the red
sir.
eyes?
Yes, sir.
Okay, that's what my eyes look like when I had these attacks. And I'd have these attacks one after another. They would get blood red, and they would look like their eyes were bleeding, and they would get to the point where I had waitresses who would tell me, "Why don't you go home? Your eyes, they make people sick looking at you."
Like they were bloodshot?
Uh-huh.
Oh, okay.
Solid red.
Mm.
Just look of blood in there. And of course my father and myself, we went fishing in Ocean View, and we stopped, came out and went to a bar, local bar.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, I knew the fellow, Sam Sutton, he owned a bar.
Mm-hmm.
And my father-in-law ordered 2 beers for us, one for him and one for me, after we had been fishing. We didn't catch any fish. But anyway, Sam Sutton would not serve people who were drunk.
Mm-hmm.
He wouldn't serve them. And he looked at my eyes and he wouldn't serve me.
Really?
No, he wouldn't serve me because he figured I already had too much to drink already.
Hmm.
So my father-in-law drank his beer, and we left. And then my father-in-law went back, and he talked to Sam, and he told him, "You just made a mistake. We haven't had anything to drink at all. His is a physical disability from the Navy." So the next time I went in, I didn't have any problem getting a beer.
I bet you didn't.
No. But you'd be surprised. You would be surprised at how often that I ran into different things like that. People look at you kind of funny because they think you're drunk.
Mm-hmm.
And it wasn't a pretty sight to look at.
Yeah.
It looks like the devil's eyes.
Mm.
Like the waitress said, "Why don't you go home? You're making everybody sick."
Oh, goodness. That's crazy.
Well,
That is crazy.
yeah. Well, these are things you run into, you know.
Mhm.
And of course, that's been, I guess the activities stopped. I guess I couldn't see it when it stopped, but nobody said anything about it. So that must have been somewhere around. Let me see. I moved to Florida in 1957.
Hmm.
I retired out of the. I worked for 10 years after I came out of the Navy. I worked in the Navy at the Naval Air Station in Norfolk, Virginia for 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
I was an ordnanceman, which is what I was in the Navy.
Right.
And so I worked for 10 years there. and my eyes are getting so bad that the supervisors asked me if I would voluntarily leave. I, as a disabled veteran, could have argued with the thing and stayed there, but I saw no point to that.
Mm-hmm.
So I took the opportunity to leave, and then I went home to Virginia, there at home, and I had been building a house, and I didn't finish the house, but I sold it
Mm-hmm.
and moved down to Florida then, and I lived in Florida there 31 years.
Mm. Wow.
Sure enough, it was long. It was a long time ago,
Yeah.
and that this went on.
Yeah.
But
That was a
there's not a whole lot that you can say about something like that because you have no idea.
Yeah.
Doctors didn't know.
Right.
The only thing they would tell me is what they knew,
Right.
and they didn't know anything.
They didn't know anything.
Right. So what they gonna tell you?
That's exactly right.
Well, like the dog, it looks like World War III in there, son.
Yes.
Yeah. Yep. But that's basically what happened. Of course, that started out. See, when I was in my late teens, early 20s.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a while ago. You were so young.
Yes. Yes.
It's crazy.
And of course, the Navy, they would just send me to different places. They offered to send me up to Illinois. They have a blind school up there where they train people who are going blind how to use the cane properly and to be self-sufficient, all that type of. The name of it's right on my tongue, but I can't think of it right now.
There's one in Talladega too.
Oh, in Talladega?
Yes, sir.
Uh,
That one's fairly new though. I mean,